But I'm looking forward to that match. And now that you know one of my predictions, clearly, which is that Tommaso Ciampa is going to retain next weekend at TakeOver, let's get into the rest of the predictions because there is a TakeOver show, TakeOver WarGames. And we'll save the Survivor Series predictions for next week. Or maybe I'll record them later in the week and put them up on YouTube. We'll see. But here are your NXT Takeover WarGames predictions for the show coming up this Saturday, the 17th, from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. It's another one of these double TakeOver WWE pay-per-view combo weekends. Yes, there is another pay-per-view already coming up next Sunday. Last year's WarGames show was excellent. It was the first ever WarGames match under the WWE banner. And they changed some of the rules around, and there was no top on the cage. There were some differences, but by and large, I loved it. I thought it was great, and I was begging for WarGames to come back for years, and they finally brought it back. So what's there to be upset about? Plus, you had Andrade Cien Almas winning the NXT Championship from Drew McIntyre. Excellent match. That was the match where, unfortunately, at the very end, on the very last move of the match, the draping DDT off the top rope, Drew hurt himself and he was out for many months. But that was a great match, and then they had another excellent match, Aleister Black beating the Velveteen Dream, and then finally saying Dream's name when the match was over. I loved everything about the build-up to that match. I loved the match itself. I thought it was great. I hope they get to revisit it one day. On last year's show, Cassius Ohno was slotted with Lars Sullivan, the veteran taking on the new guy, and Ohno lost. Well, here we are again 1 year later, and Ohno finds himself in a very similar role of the veteran player against the new guys. And I should say this has not yet been added to the card as I am sitting here recording this. But I assume that we are either going to get Cassius Ohno against Keith Lee or Cassius Ohno against Matt Riddle. I figure it's probably Ohno against Riddle. And if so, my prediction is that Riddle wins. And then gets attacked by Ohno when the match is over, and maybe Keith Lee comes out to make the save. I could see things going down like that. Ohno versus Riddle has already been announced, but not for this show. It's been announced for the WrestleMania 35 on-sale party that they're doing at MetLife Stadium coming up this Thursday. So they're actually wrestling on that show at MetLife. This is, I guess, a couple days before TakeOver. For TakeOver, though, it's not yet official. Maybe they'll shoot an angle. Maybe they're going to shoot an angle at the MetLife Stadium thing on Thursday, and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's their plan here. But as I am sitting here on November 11th recording this, this is not yet official for the TakeOver card. Shayna Baszler will defend her NXT Women's Championship. She'll do so in a 2 out of 3 falls match against Kairi Sane. Of course, Shayna now has her fellow horsewomen in her corner, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. I'm sure they'll be out there with her. I cannot see her losing the championship so soon after winning it back. And so I guess if I had to make a prediction on the falls, like who wins the first fall, who wins the second fall, I would say that it probably follows the traditional format where Kairi maybe picks up a fluke win in the first fall. Actually, I take that back. Shayna wins the first fall. And then Kairi wins the second fall. Shayna wins the third. But either way, my prediction is that Shayna retains. We have Aleister Black taking on Johnny Gargano, or as someone on Twitter very accurately put it, one side of Hot Topic against the other side of Hot Topic. This should be a fantastic match. I think, if nothing else, I don't know storyline-wise where they're going to go with this, if Candice LeRae may get involved, if Nikki Cross may be there and she may get involved. This could go any number of ways, but I think Johnny Gargano gets the win. I think Aleister Black does not need to win this match. Johnny Gargano, I feel like for the character he's portraying right now, he needs to win this match. So I've got him as my pick. And then the main event, you already know, my pick is Tommaso Ciampa to retain the championship against the Velveteen Dream. Also should be a great match. It'll be another test. This is the biggest match of his NXT career to date. Dream is very good. Ciampa's great. I see no reason why this match can't be fantastic. And so we'll see how that ends up. We have also, now that's not the main event, that's the main event for the championship. The actual main event, of course, is the WarGames match itself, and that's going to pit the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong, 4-on-4 against the team of Rick O'Shea, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders. They're having a singles match on TV this week with one member from each team, and whoever wins, that person's team will get the man advantage in WarGames. The heels should get the man advantage. It just builds more drama that way. To me, it doesn't make any sense if you have the babyface get the advantage here. That's kind of ass backwards. You couldn't really do that last year because you had 3 teams instead of 2. This year, though, you can. I don't see the Undisputed Era winning back-to-back WarGames matches. Plus, if my predictions are right, if my other predictions are right, it may be a very heel-heavy show in terms of wins. So I'm going to pick the babyfaces to win here. And that's your TakeOver card. I am very much looking forward to that show. I'm not going to shit on Survivor Series, because honestly, when you look at the Survivor Series card, the Survivor Series card looks pretty strong too. So I think there's going to be some nice competition next weekend between these two shows, but it's hard to bet against these TakeOver shows because they routinely blow the main roster out of the water. And I don't know that this will be any different, but it should be a fun weekend.